Hey bronies, Monkcat Super Awesome and Sykes, you're making a quick vlog, and yes, I know I look ridiculous with my beard shaved, or trimmed I guess, and my hair tied back. I do look good in a v-neck though. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about wow, I cannot talk today. I want to talk a little bit about the Wii U, and my kind of revised opinions on it. First of all, I want to say that they did holy shit, I hope that's not a customer. Right after I started the vlog. Okay, it's not. I think they did an amazing job with the Iwata Asks kind of reveal after they did the Wii U reveal. I think that this is not as big as they wanted it to be. Of course it's not. I mean, Nintendo's stock has dropped 5% and then 5% again. They're down to GameCube levels of stock price, which is a different scenario because the yen is a different amount than it was back then. You know, if you convert it, they're still doing much better than they were then. But even so, it's not the greatest thing in the world. I guess, well, how do I want to put this here? I think that everyone is kind of underestimating the Wii U. And I'm guilty of it too. I mean, I got up there, I listened to the press conference, of course, and I heard, hey, this is a PS3 or 360 with a ridiculously cumbersome and ridiculous controller that you're now going to have to pay hundreds of dollars for, that when most people already have a PS360. Why? I mean, it's silly and ridiculous, and I don't understand. And I still think that A, it's a ridiculous name, B, it's a ridiculous controller, and it's incredibly cumbersome. And I don't think that it's going to do well, at least at first. What I do think that this will shine on is being kind of a revival in Nintendo's place as kind of king of the multiplayer community. And I'm talking not only online, which is the most prevalent kind of multiplayer these days, but more I'm talking about local multiplayer. You know, the 360, you know, I think it goes without saying that no one is expecting Nintendo to, you know, make something anywhere near comparable to Xbox Live. You know, I mean, I think our best hopes, I mean, I'm talking, you know, very top hopes, the most hopeful people in the world are thinking something that will be kind of like the PSN. And, you know, I mean, I think that's kind of the direction they're heading with the 3DS. I hope they improve it even further. And frankly, I don't think the 3DS is that bad, to be perfectly honest. Even so. What do I want to say here? I think that with the Wii U controller, it'll make for a ton of great opportunities of... okay, let me say this. The Wii had a lot of local multiplayer games. A lot of them were bad. A lot of them were multiplayer collections. But we also had a lot of good ones. Like, I think every single Mario game that was released on the Wii had some sort of local multiplayer. There was Mario Galaxy 1, Mario Galaxy 2, where you played as the Luma and or Pointer. There was New Super Mario Bros. Wii, where of course you played as Luigi or Toads. There was Mario Party, Mario Strikers Charge, the Mario Sports games. I should just kind of group that into one. Of course had local multiplayer. You know, every Mario game had multiplayer. You know, Metroid Prime 2, of course, had multiplayer from the GameCube. And that's the kind of multiplayer I'm talking about. You know, the Mario games kind of felt phoned in. Like, oh, well, who cares? And I think that the Wii U controller is going to allow for a lot better experiences that will be a lot more akin to Asbro, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Where, you know, I think that actually the Guillemot, I forget exactly what his name was, I think it was a Guillemot, he was talking about how Assassin's Creed, I don't even know if this is the right guy to be honest, but he was talking about how Assassin's Creed multiplayer would be so much better improved by the Wii U, and I'm actually agreeing with him. Like, if you tried to do Asbro multiplayer locally on a PS360, it would be boring because everyone could see what the other person is doing. You know who the other person is because you can see on their screen what they are doing. And now you can do it. You don't need to have two consoles to be able to have an experience like that. Hide and seek gameplay will be much improved. And then there's, other things that will be a little more exciting where, you have one person doing one role and another person doing another. Not like shooters today where it's all like everyone's doing the same thing because you all have the same controller. And, there's really nothing else you can do with it. In local multiplayer. In online, you can do whatever the fuck you want because you have two fucking screens. Or 50 different screens if you want to talk about games like MAG, Massive Adventure Game. It's a horrible title. It's disgusting. It's like naming an MMORPG MMORPG. This is the multiplayer game of ever. No, it's stupid and ridiculous. But I digress. Actually, I did digress. I want to get back to what I'm talking about. I think that it can be really cool. I think this is kind of where Nintendo, and I think Nintendo's kind of approach to this is going in the right direction. I think they're wanting to keep their blue ocean, which isn't really a blue ocean anymore. Everyone's in there. They have Connect, they have Move. Not so much Move, but, the blue ocean has Connect now. And they also have their Wii, and they have the Wii name latching onto. Whereas the hardcore gamers, who cares about the name? I mean, yes, there will be, the 13-year-olds who will never buy a Nintendo console anyway. They're going to go and say, oh, it's another Wii, herp derp. And, whatever. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I'm still going to enjoy my games. But I think that the hardcore gamer, as long as, there's something like that there where you can, play with your friends, like, where you can play Asbro with the person next to you, and, actually see their reactions and see, a lot is lost when it's just voice communication, and I think I know that best when I'm talking to people over Skype. It's just, they're not really there, You can hear their voice, but, you can't see their face, you can't see, what they're doing with their hands, you can't, I don't want to see you masturbating, but, you can't see, oh god, no, and, you hear it and you can tell that they're doing that, but it's implied, it really loses something. And that's where local multiplayer comes in, and I think that Nintendo's going to try and focus on that, and I really hope they do. And I hope they do it in a way that isn't just mini-games. Like Shield Pose, that's great, whatever, I don't care. I'm sure it'll be great, for me to play with my girlfriend or something. Or that stupid fucking game where you're, actually it's not stupid, but where you're chasing the Mario, and the Mario has his own controller, has the Wii U controller, and everyone else is just trying to find him, and they have a very far reach, or vision, and they all go chasing after him, and, only the Mario knows exactly where he is because he has his own screen. I think that can be great for a party game, where everyone is kind of like, yeah. But for an actual game where you want to sit down and play, I think that this is going to be great as well. And I hope that it is. I think that this could be a very good thing. I've kind of matured my thoughts on the Wii U a little bit from where I was at first, where I was like, what the fuck is this? This is stupid. There's no way that I would ever buy one. This is going to be another Virtual Boy. I kind of hope it is. I've moved past that. I'm now kind of where this is actually pretty cool. I can see potential here. I think that this is, if, at the press conference, at everything, it feels like Nintendo is still kind of trying to find a gimmick that will sell. I feel like Nintendo is increasingly becoming less of a personal face and more of a business face, where, we're going to make this cool thing because it sells, not because it'll make their art better, not make their craft better. and a lot of the time that's kind of what they're doing. I felt like that's what it was with motion control. At first I kind of felt like this is what it was going to do with the Wii U, and it felt like that at the press conference. I'm sure everyone felt like that. I can't say for sure, but it's kind of how I felt about it. And E3, it is a press conference. That is kind of, the press there, of course, are going to be video game fans and fanboys and all this, but at the same time, they're press. This is something where they're going to be talking to their investors. They're going to be talking to people who are relying on them to make money, as well as, us, the fans who are watching it, record it, or even there, potentially. And, that's alright, make money out of this. That's what a business does. But I want you to do it in a way that will improve your craft, And, I feel like that's kind of what Sony is doing with the Vita as well. Nintendo's not the only perpetrator of this. They're absolutely not. I mean, like with Kinect, I know that this is a money-grubbing tactic. It is. But at the same time, they feel like, I don't know how they feel, but I feel like this can actually improve their craft, like with games like Child of Eden. I think that this is something that could potentially be really, really good and really cool. But at the same time, it's a money-grubbing tactic. And I think Nintendo came off as saying, hey, we're trying to make money. Let's do it. Not, hey, we're trying to make really cool games that everyone will like, and it'll be great. No. And, I don't know. I kind of felt like they don't have their whole heart into this thing. Which is, alright, whatever. It's not really my business, it's their company. But, no one's forcing me to buy a Wii U. But I kind of feel like maybe it's not that they are just, saying, let's find a gimmick and work with it. This is the best we got, go. Maybe that's not what they're doing right now. Maybe it just came off like that. I'm sure that, it is kind of what they're doing. Like, hey, this is the best thing we have. I think that this is the best idea that we've had that can both make us money and improve our craft. And let's do it. I don't know. I wasn't in the conference room with Shiggy and Iwata, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for. And I don't care what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping third parties, Assassin's Creed and all that, will take that and work with it. I guess. So there you go. Anyway, that's really all I had to say on this, on the Wii U. Right now, that's kind of where my thoughts stand. 3DS is 3DS. Kid Icarus multiplayer, although impressions have been very poor, I'm still looking forward to it very much. Same with Kid Icarus, yeah. I'm looking forward to Star Fox 64. Yes, it's a remake, but I've never played Star Fox 64. I played Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. It's pretty much the same game, but it has multiplayer in the 3DS version, which I'm kind of excited for, because that seems like kind of cool, kind of like where Star Wars Rogue Squadron, I forget the name exactly, I think that's it, on the GameCube. I think that would be great multiplayer, and Star Fox, great multiplayer, and you just don't have that. And Star Fox, granted, it's local only, but, and, frankly, I don't know a single person in real life who has a 3DS. I have 2 hits on my Street Pass meter right now. One is from some guy I've never met at the mall. I forget his name even. I think it's like Frank, something like that. Something with an F. And then someone from my university that I'll be getting to know a little better. This is when I start going there in August. But, 3DS, local multiplayer, not going to be as big as DS multiplayer. And DS multiplayer was not that big. It needs to be online, because no one has a 3DS. Same with the PlayStation Portable. If you release a game on PSP right now that only has local multiplayer, you will not find anyone to play with you. because no one has a PSP. I mean, that's kind of an understatement, or an overstatement, I guess, whatever. It's not technically true, because a lot of people do, but no one is out there, like, looking like, hey, let's play local multiplayer on PSP. No. They're saying, hey, let's play local multiplayer on my PS3, my 360, hell, my Wii, my DS. You know, much more successful consoles. And the 3DS, I'm feeling, is gonna not be so hot in that regard. And I'm thinking that this might be the generation, just because Sony is taking a hit here, that Nintendo kind of loses its reign as king of the handheld gaming the handheld gaming market. I mean, they've dominated since the goddamn Game Boy 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I have no idea when it was, but, you know, ever since then, they have not been definitely number one, ever. They've always been number one, no questions asked. The PSP came the closest, and they were still miles behind. And I feel like because they're underpricing the Vita, that the Vita might win this generation. And then after this generation, the iPhone will win. iPhone and Android. But, you know, I still want to play on my DS, my 3DS. I'm a fanboy. It's what I do. And I like mobile games. Yes, I do. Would I prefer my 3DS? Yes. A, it has buttons. B, it's 3D. C, it has Nintendo games. D, it has games with a little bit more depth. And with handheld games, I'm not looking for a console experience necessarily. I'm looking for something that is marginally more of an experience than a cell phone game. And it's not to say all cell phone games are bad, you know? There's Zenonia, which is on DSiWare as well, which I preferred on because it has buttons, but I haven't bought either of them anyway. But, you know, and there's that iPhone game, the kind of like Punch-Out-like one. I think that's great, and that's another topic I want to talk about. Punch-Out, games like that, which are basically arcade evolutions, really need to be relegated to prices that are lower. You know, with cell phone games and all that, it's great when they're basically mini games. You know, I don't care, throw them away. They're disposable, as Nintendo would say. But at the same time, I feel like Punch-Out is disposable. Or I think that it needs to be priced at like $5.99, $10.99, something like that. You know, like it's not. I love Punch-Out, I do, but it's not a far enough evolution away from an arcade game that I'd pay that much for it these days. You know, arcade games are great, but they're not $60 experiences, which is what Wii U games will cost for franchises, according to Iwata. Somewhere around there, anyway. He didn't give an exact price point, but he said it would probably cost more than the Wii, more than Wii titles. And that's all I really have to say about that. Now, in my usual work rant. It's been over a month since the air conditioning broke. I'm fucking sick of it. I'm not wearing my work uniform. It's fucking hot. No one's doing a goddamn thing about it. Customers are leaving. The bars are melting. It's... You know, they're not going to renew the lease on this place. They are going to sell this store. And I'm getting out of the store at the right time because I'm moving. And, you know, that's all there really is to it. They haven't said that they're going to close or anything, so I don't fucking know, but, you know, it's become pretty evident that that's what's going to happen. If they're not going to fix the AC or anything like this. And GNC, as a corporation right now, is baffling. They just gave us a 60-carton shipment that I, personally, alone, have to finish by the end of the day, while helping customers, while doing paperwork, while wasting my time getting paid to do a vlog. And, you know, that's not something that's impossible, but it's something that, you know, isn't really right for a minimum wage job. That's something that you'd expect someone who gets paid $10, $11 an hour to do. And I don't. So what the fuck? Anyway, like, I've opened a few of these boxes, and this is what's baffling. I've opened a few of these boxes, and we're on a 2-week shipment schedule because, we don't have that many customers. We don't sell all that much product. There's no way we're going to run out of product that's full before the shipment comes. I've opened maybe 5-6 boxes of this stuff. All stuff that we are 100% full on, and there is no room on the shelf. I opened up boxes, and they're going to have to stay in the back. Why? Why send them to us? There is that product, sitting on the shelf for months at a time. Why would you send more? That is ridiculous and insane and, frankly, stupid. Needs to stop. Are they going to? Fuck no. But I don't understand how they think this is a way to run a company. It's no way to run a company. You're wasting resources. You're wasting money. You're wasting everything. You're giving us product that is going to expire because you're sending us too much. Why? I make minimum wage, and I can tell you that this is not smart. This is not how you run a business. This is not how you run a store. I mean, come on. How fucking hard is it to run a store like this? Get product in. Get product out. Get money. That's it. That's all there is to it. But no, they managed to fuck that up. What the fuck? And I know I posted this on Twitter before, but the goddamn vice president of GNC, making the big bucks, making over $100,000 a year compared to his minimum wage employees. You know what? He sends out a message to us talking about how great GNC is and how great benefits and promotions we have, and they don't do it because they always hire from the outside. 99.9% of the time they do. They don't give us raises anymore. They did before I worked here. Now they cut that, so you're working minimum wage until you die. No, they don't care, unless you leave the company. No benefits for anyone except managers, and even then they have to pay for them. It's not really a benefit. The health insurance here costs more than it would be if you got it independently. There's no deals. We're required to have a cell phone, but they're not going to pay for it. They can call us anytime they want, and we have to pay for it. And that's fucking hell. Anyway. They sent a message out to us. The vice president himself did. And I can understand making a typo, maybe a J instead of a K. You skimmed over that during proofreading. Whatever. He wrote something like, don't just accept things the way they are. And I'm talking not ACCEPT, like is obviously meant.